Most people think it's live. It used to be live, actually. Then- It's a pleasure to have you once again on the Link edition for this week as the year winds down. And we continue to give you information you can use. And today we are discussing taxation. If you had an issue with a taxman, that's URA, Uganda Revenue Authority, how do you resolve that issue without going to court or going to the tax tribunal where you have to bring sort of lawyers and stuff like that? URA as an alternative dispute resolution. And in the studio tonight, I have the right man for the job, who is Mr. John Kiyaga, who is the manager, Alternative Dispute Resolution Unit of URA. John, you're welcome.
Thank you, Sam.
So how does this alternative dispute resolution approach work, and when does it work?
Okay, thank you very much. Alternative dispute resolution is a mechanism that is facilitated to resolve tax disputes between URA and the taxpayer.
Okay.
These disputes arises out of assessments and that the taxpayer may not agree with, either additional assessment or estimated assessments. So what the process learns that when the taxpayer objects and then the objection handles finishes its process and still the taxpayer does not agree with the outcome of the objection decision, then he has a window again to appeal to the Commissioner General. That is the alternative dispute resolution now. Process start from after objection decision. However, even when the taxpayer appeals to the tax appeals tribunal, the law allows him to appeal to if the taxpayer, when the taxpayer appeals to alternative dispute resolution, the law also allows him to appeal to the tax appeal tribunal concurrently. So that if the alternative dispute resolution comes out not in his favor, he still has
the tribunal.
They are all time bound. The tribunal, you are supposed to appeal within 30 days, and then the alternative dispute resolution, you are supposed to appeal within 7 days. So that's why, in order not to lose out on the tribunal, he can appeal to both the alternative dispute resolution, which is handled in URA, and then the tax appeals tribunal, which is handled outside URA.
Give me let's handle an example. I have an assessment issue. The numbers you are giving me as a taxpayer, I'm not agreeing, and I write to the Commissioner General. What happens?
Yes, that is now the alternative dispute.
So what happens? We come, we sit on the table. You can describe to me what.
Okay, now what happens? We have two methods of handling these disputes. It can be a conciliation method. Whereby we appoint a person, an intermediary, to take us through the whole process.
To look at the numbers and all that.
Not to look at the numbers, to mediate. To is an independent person that can bring this, can convene discussion for both the taxpayer and URA. Then the other one is the negotiation, whereby now the taxpayer and URA, they come together and look at the computations, as you are saying,
the numbers,
and see the numbers and see where is the problem. Why is the taxpayer not agreeing with URA numbers? And then we discuss and resolve those issues.
All right. So why do you resort to this approach? You're the taxman, you have the law on your side. Why are you creating a third option?
What the government realized that there are issues that affect taxpayers' compliance.
Absolutely.
Yes, you can find that URA made some errors in their tax computations, and that's why they are providing that window to see that we look at our figures again. Who is the taxpayer now? And be able to see how to resolve those disputes before going to court. Because the court process is a bit longer
and expensive.
It is costly. You involve quite a number of tax agents, lawyers, and what. So this one is a simpler way of handling the tax disputes.
Okay.
And that's why the government created that windows.
Okay. So if I come to, through the Commissioner General, I come to the alternative dispute resolution, what's the cost to me as the taxpayer? Because you appoint somebody else, a mediator, are they paid? Just give us a picture there. What's the cost to me as a taxpayer?
Now, the most common method when you come to URA is the negotiation.
Okay.
It has no cost to either the taxpayer or URA.
Just time.
It is just time, as you are saying, time. The other one is we look at how the mediator terms and what, and then we evaluate and see whether it is cost effective before we proceed with it.
Okay. So who pays? If you assess the taxpayer, I mean the mediator needs a certain amount per hour, who pays? Is it URA or is it me?
No, that is discussed according to the person who wants the mediator. But this person is not supposed to take a decision. Is not supposed to say, no, this one was correct, this one was not correct. For him, it's just facilitating.
Okay.
And the discussion.
Yes. So you have not answered my question. Do I pay? Because people need to know.
No,
that
you don't pay. The taxpayer does not pay. The taxpayer does not pay. Yes.
Okay. What situation do not qualify for alternative dispute resolution? Because people will be thinking, hey, okay, what areas are not allowed to be, to be talked about in the ADR approach?
First of all, if there is the issues being discussed are related to interpretation of the law. Okay. Those ones are done by the court. We don't handle those issues at alternative dispute resolution. Okay. If the issues that are being disputed involves fraud, you are dealing in there's what we call invoice trading. I know, yes. You sell an invoice when there was no transaction. That means the tax that arose out of that audit, and it was a result of either invoice trading, fraud. Those ones cannot be resolved by alternative dispute resolution. You have to go to TAT, and then we see how TAT handles that one. Okay. Then your application has to come, as we said, the application is time bound. Yes. You have to appeal within 7 days after the objection decision. If it is beyond 7 days, you cannot come to alternative dispute resolution. Okay. I can't even justify it. Maybe I got sick. I don't know. I lost somebody. You guys can't look into that and say, okay, if I have proof that I was really sick in hospital and the doctors can vouch for me, I'm still out. That is not now a normal case. That one can be decided by management. Okay. By the normal procedure. At the moment, they do not cater for that. I think it is something we need to think about and put it in the law in the subsequent amendments. Okay. But I think can be considered by the management team now. Because those are exceptional circumstances. Okay. What happens if this approach fails? People need to know that I go with sit, mediation or negotiation, we're not agreeing. What happens in that case? Can we do a second round? Can we go and think about it and come back and say, okay, let's try again, or what? No, if you fail to agree with the decision now, there are two things. You can fail to agree with how the process is being handled. Yes. Then you have, that's why you have this window of going to tax appeals tribunal. Then URA can make a decision.
Okay.
And then you say, no, I don't agree with that. And then you go to tax appeals tribunal.
Okay.
The next stage is the tax appeals tribunal.
That's why you're allowed to do concurrent.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Finally, John, I am in Koboko. I write to the CG. How do I write to the CG first of all? I go on, I write him an email, a physical letter. Just take us through these are simple procedures, but man, the dozen people. How do I write to the CG?
We have provided a form. It is still a manual form. It's still a manual process. You go to our website, ura.go.ug. You download that form. You fill in the form. You take the nearest URA office. The form is found on domestic taxes platform on that web portal.
Yeah.
Then you go under objections and appeals.
Okay.
You find the form there, an alternative dispute resolution form. You download it, fill, and then the process starts from there now.
How long do you guys at URA take to turn around? Okay, me, I'm within 7 days. How long does it take you to come back to me? Is it up to you? Can even take 30 days?
No. When you put in your application,
yes,
we respond to you within 7 days.
Okay.
We give you a response within 7 days, calling you for a meeting, and then we start the process.
Do I need to travel to Kampala, or you are decentralized these things?
At the moment, the unit is centralized, but we have a mechanism where we can use our offices up country, and then around the country, and then we interview, because the most important thing is to interview, to know you the facts about the case.
Yes.
Using our colleagues who are stationed there, they give us a report, and then we discuss and resolve the issues.
Okay. Okay. Finally, where does unit sit? Your unit.
Our unit sits at URA Tower, level 2.
All right. We didn't answer the question, what happens if this approach fails? Oh, you answered it. We go to Thank you so much, John, for this. I've not encountered it in my dealing with URA, so I think even your taxpayers are going to be excited. So viewers, you don't need to go to court or even tax appeal tribunal if you can actually agree with, sit down face-to-face on a table and resolve your tax disputes with URA. They are willing to engage, even find a mediator, so that you don't have to expend so much costs when you are paying your taxes. We hope we added value to you tonight. That was the link. Thank you for joining us.